Okay, this question comes in from Dahlia, and she asks, is it physically exhausting to channel? And to that, I would say sometimes. Most of the time when I am channeling for clients that are a very close vibrational match to the natural vibration that I carry. And most of the time, those clients are very, very open to receive the insights and messages that they're asking for. So when that's the case, and that's like perfect alignment, and that is most of my sessions, I'm very fortunate to say. When that's the case, it is smooth and easy. So instead of getting tired and exhausted by channeling, it actually uplifts and activates me and makes me joyful, just filled with joy and wonder and excitement about what's coming through and how my client might be able to use that to advance themselves in their lives or to grow or to expand. So most of the time I channel, it's not exhausting. However, what I have learned is that if I'm doing a group, there is an ideal number of people to channel for in a group. Of course, a group will be a little more tiring because I'm moving in and out of many different people's energies very quickly. Once I channeled for about 50 people in a group, and I will not do that ever again because that was completely depleting. And I think I went to bed for 2 days after that. And it was probably another couple weeks before I felt my energy settle back into its natural rhythm. So, and occasionally I will have a client that is resistant or highly skeptical. Now, I don't mind skepticism, but it is possible for one's skepticism to get in the way of them receiving what they need to hear, because your skepticism can actually be a barricade. It's an indication that you're not ready sometimes, that you're not ready to hear what's coming through. So when I have someone that comes to the session with a high level of skepticism or resistance, or kind of like almost like they're challenging to prove that this is a thing, that channeling is real, that is more tiring for me, because it's kind of like moving through sludge or quicksand. There's this thick slowing down, and I can sense their resistance, and I know that there's so much that could come through for them, but if they're not ready, their guides or their higher self is only going to bring through what they are ready to hear. So that's been my experience with that. And then her second question is there ever a time you make a decision not to share something that you see or hear in order to protect the client? And to that, I would say yes, that has happened. That does happen sometimes. Sometimes the guides or the soul that I am channeling will give me an understanding. I don't want to say a future prediction, because my work is not predictive in that way, but I will have a bigger picture, a deeper understanding of what is also unfolding in this process. And that guide or that soul will communicate to me in a way that I understand that this is not to be shared. This is just for my knowledge, so that I can support the client in understanding the messages that are coming through for them and putting them into a functional, operational place so they can use those messages. So sometimes I have been able to see, let's say, for example, that certain relationships are going to wind up in a particular way. That's not my story to tell. That's not for me to share. I would not share with someone, well, this relationship is going to end. And here's why. It is up to that individual to choose for themselves what feels best to them or right to them in the moment. And if I come in and say, well, this is going to end, or this isn't the person that, or that you are meant to be with, or that's your destiny, or whatever it is, I am influencing their free will. And I don't view that as my role. I know that not everybody feels this way, but I do. So I choose not to share when I receive the nudge or the insight that this bigger picture or this greater understanding that I'm being shown is not for the client, but is for me to be able to support my client. So that's how I would answer that. And I hope that it's been helpful to you.